Hello everybody, it's the Gnome and welcome to your very first 2020 Funko Pop update. Now, I'm definitely excited for the year ahead, especially considering the fact that we just saw what happened at London Toy Fair, and all of that news is going to be in this video, so it's going to be a long one, everybody. Get comfy. But one of the other things that I still cannot get over the fact about is that I have been recording this for going on 7 years now, because that's how long I've been collecting. And just this past month, I officially passed 300 Pops in my collection. Now, to some that may sound like a lot, but compared to some of the Funko Pop collectors that I follow here on YouTube, this is tiny compared to some. But one of the other things that I will definitely be saying is something that I've been doing ever since I started collecting. For me, it's really about quality over quantity. I don't want to have these things officially take over my house, although there are many that would say, oh, it's already happened. But I really want to focus on the ones that give me true nostalgia, true enjoyment, and no buyer's remorse whatsoever. And considering where we are and what Funko has already revealed to us, I'm definitely glad to say that there is a great deal that I have definitely passed on, while there are still a few that I have been excited to add to my collection. And luckily, we'll be talking about some of those today. But also, before we get into the news and my collection, I also want to dedicate this video to an embodiment of popular culture, and that, of course, is Kobe Bryant, who passed away very recently due to a tragic helicopter crash. I still can't believe it happened. I still cannot get over the fact that this guy was 2 years older than me, but even if you are not a basketball/sports fan, you know who Kobe Bryant was, and you know what he did for the game of basketball. He is right up there with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, you name it. He's one of the true greats, and it would be wrong if I didn't dedicate an episode of Funko Pop, which is pretty much all about popular culture, because he was a true embodiment of popular culture. So that's it, everybody. Before we get into all the news, let's take a look at how my collection has been going. So even though there are so many more new Pops that have officially joined my collection over the past month or two, I still have to try and find ways to match them all up and give you guys a good presentation, and also it really brings out the longevity. So today's theme is going to be games, and game is a very general term because it comes in very various shapes and forms, and we're going to be doing that in this review of some of my new additions to my collection. So let's first go into the world of professional sports. When I found out that they were going to be adding another member of the Jets franchise to the Pop collection, of course, I got very excited, and it was their newest acquirement from last season. Of course, that was the great running back, Le'Veon Bell. I'm so glad that the Jets picked him up. He definitely helped us this season, even though we didn't make the playoffs, but to know that we were going to be getting Le'Veon Bell as a Jet, and also in the new uniform that the Jets got this year, I got very excited. So, the other interesting thing is the fact that this is celebrating the 100th year of the NFL, and also on the football, it's got the 100, which I think is really cool, but I love the jersey. I love the New York over the number, the gray stripes on the shoulder. I also love the way they designed the black under his eye as well as his goatee, and I also love that he's got that little do-rag or hat, whatever it's called, that they use over the helmet to cushion it. He's got the Jets logo right on the front, and if you turn him around, also you've got the name on the back of the jersey, and I just love the fact that he's got the running back position. I am so glad that the world of sports expands just as well as some of the other lines in Funko, and the fact that I got another player from my team makes me very happy. Now we're going to go from the far left to the far right. Now, this guy doesn't play any sports, but he definitely has sports as his theme, because he is the leader of the Baseball Furies from one of the best cult classic films in film history, and that, of course, is The Warriors from 1979. Now, when I heard that they were making a Warriors line, I got very excited, but the only Pop that I wanted was the Baseball Furies leader. And when I found out that they were not doing the 12 Days of Funko Christmas, rather they were doing a blind box that you had to shell out $200 for Cyber Monday, when I found out that he was one of the Pops that was included in there, I got very excited about the fact that they made him, But I was really upset over the fact that I had to shell out $200 to get him, but I didn't. I actually got him for under $30 on eBay, $29 I believe, and that was also including shipping. But you know what? He's not the most glamorous Pop, but he's definitely awesome because they definitely got the makeup right with the black eye and the green yellowish makeup. I also love that they got him in the position with the bat. Also on the jersey is pretty cool. I also love that the hat itself is very glossy black. And if you turn it around, a lot of people love the fact how they got the snapback really good, but I also love that beautifully they've got the Furies logo on the back of his jersey, because that's really what makes this Pop along with the makeup. I love the fact that he is now part of my collection. He is a limited edition from the Funko shop, and because of the fact that it's red and green, it means it was part of the Christmas box. And the other thing that makes this Pop so special is this was the 300th Pop in my collection. So very proud to have that. But games can mean professional sports. Games can also mean things like the Warriors, because it's a baseball Fury. Baseball is a game, but game also means video game. So let's prepare to fight, everybody, because Mortal Kombat is now a part of my collection. Now, they made Mortal Kombat Pops very recently, and I wasn't on board with them. But then when I found out that this year they were going to be adding Mortal Kombat characters from the original video game, I got very excited. I saw the glam shots. I wasn't sure if I was going to add Sub-Zero and Scorpion to my collection, but I saw them up close, and when I held them in my hands the first time, I walked away and didn't buy them. But throughout that entire time until I officially bought them, only one thing was going through my head, and it was the theme song to the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie, celebrating its 25th anniversary today. Little hint, everybody, that is going to be an episode of Fandom Features, so beware for that. But yes, I got Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and I love these Pops. I love how they gave me so much detail in them. I love that they're in their fighting positions. I love the fact that it's the colors that are absolutely perfect, the fact that the spear is coming out of Scorpion's arm, the fact that Sub-Zero is shooting off an ice blast, and those little Easter eggs that you gotta be aware of if you actually open up one of the box tabs. Each of these says, "Finish him." It's just not Mortal Kombat without that, and that's what makes these even more special. I love these two Pops so much, and I love just putting them in this specific position so it looks like they're actually fighting each other, ready for a match. You just feel the video game and the movie vibes through these two Pops. And that's it, everybody. Those are some of my newest additions to my collection, and now let's get into the news. So let's begin with this massive news review of all the things that are available over at the Funko shop. Now, unfortunately, some of these things have been sold out, but let me just say, it's been a while, but my God, has Funko been busy. Everything from fantastic plastic to new mascots, new styles of mascots like glow-in-the-darks and flocks that were already made, just so many great things that fans can truly appreciate. I think the ones that really do stand out in this bunch are definitely Wilma and Betty from the Flintstones. I have to say, I'm a little upset over the fact that outside of Barney and Fred, the original two, the fact that the entire Flintstones line was practically Funko shop exclusives, I don't know why that was the case. The Flintstones are just as popular as so many other great Hanna-Barbera characters, and considering the fact that outside of Mr. Spacely, the entire Jetsons lines were commons, I just don't seem to understand why it was the case for the Flintstones that you could only buy them on the Funko shop. Same goes for Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote in a double set. I mean, that was something that was so many people could appreciate. But I also think that some of the other stands out were the 10-inch Big Boy and, of course, the 18-inch 1966 Batman. They're just awesome. So, if you got the opportunity to get some of these things at the Funko shop, congratulations. But for me, I'm glad to see all of these great fandoms being serviced here. And of course, Major League Baseball is jumping in again, and I'm sure this is going to be the first of many, because not only do they do actual ball players, they also like to do promotions. So, if you're going to go to the Kansas City Royals versus San Francisco 49ers game at San Francisco on August 29th, 2020, you will be able to get a orange chrome C-3PO in honor of Star Wars Day. Of course, we also have some t-shirts. We have various companies that are selling them, including GameStop and Target, and they include everything from Star Wars to anime, so take your pick. We've also got a couple of boxes. These are both available at GameStop. You can get a Rick and Morty box as well as a Pokemon box, and they of course will include a whole bunch of goodies, including some exclusive pops. I love the fact that the Pokemon box has a flocked Squirtle and Pikachu. So if you are fans of either of these franchises, I'm sure you're excited to get these boxes. And speaking of boxes, with a heavy heart, we also have to feature the final Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty Box. Let me repeat that. The final Smuggler's Bounty Box. They are no longer making these boxes, and they are no longer going to be sold on Amazon, but the very last one was the Episode 9 Heroes box, which includes a t-shirt as well as 2 exclusive pops from the film, and they are Babu Frick and C-3PO holding Chewie's gear. It was a nice thing while it lasted. I actually managed to go onto eBay and get a couple of these Smuggler's Bounty Box pops, so the fact that this is now officially coming to an end is a little bit sad. We also have some exclusives to the Disney theme parks. I know that I had mentioned that we were going to be getting the Dapper Dans, but we finally got a good glam shot because they are available, as well as a Pirates of the Caribbean Chrome Red. And in honor of Chinese New Year, I don't believe that this is available at the Funko shop or available over at the Disney theme parks only, but you can get Mickey Mouse celebrating the Chinese New Year. Very nice gesture there. We've also got a couple of other special exclusives, including items that are available at BlizzCon, PX Previews exclusives, Gemini collectibles, you name it. All a bunch of things from Batman to the Avengers to Hello Kitty. I'm sure you're all excited for those. Also, Chalice Collectibles, which focuses specifically on anime, is giving us 2 sets of Vegeta. You can either get a Super Saiyan God Vegeta or a Gallic Gun Vegeta, and you also get the opportunity to get chases, and one of these does glow in the dark as well. Speaking of anime, we also have a new bunch of Naruto collectible pops coming, as well as exclusives from GameStop and Box Lunch. And probably one of the most exciting things in the world of anime, I had a feeling we were going to be getting some commons because we did get an exclusive from one of the cons last year, but Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is one of the most dramatic animes in science fiction that I have ever watched, is finally getting a official common pop line. So you can get Shinji, you can get Rei, you can get Asuka, and you can also get a 6-inch pop of Shinji's Angel. I have a feeling that we're going to be getting some more of these. We might even get some of the villainous angels themselves and maybe some more characters, but the fact that this franchise is getting a pop line is a very good thing to see. And speaking of oversized, because we seem to be getting a lot more of these, you can go to Foot Locker and get yourselves a 10-inch supersized pop of Michael Jordan. And one of the things that I do want to mention is because of the tragedy that happened with the death of Kobe Bryant, I'm pretty sure that Funko is going to be making a whole new bunch of Kobe Bryant exclusives, or possibly just some commons for people who truly appreciated him to pick up for themselves. I definitely went out and got myself a Michael Jordan because of the legend that he is, but Kobe Bryant is definitely a player that I truly loved and respected, and I definitely want to add that pop to my collection if they decide to make new ones. And in the world of sports, continuing on, we've got a new wave of NASCAR racers. I'm glad to see that this is happening because apparently the first wave did sell, and I'm sure that this is going to sell as well. And now let's get into the world of music. We've got some new Tupacs coming out, including a Thug Life FYE exclusive. There was a Tupac very early on in Funko's run, so the fact that we are finally getting some more updated versions, as well as some very accurate depictions of him, these are just absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to get them, but they did the same thing with the Notorious B.I.G., so I'm not surprised that Tupac is joining the fray in this one. We've also got Migos. I know that this was something that they announced at San Diego Comic-Con, and we finally got some glam shots, as they are going to be coming to stores very, very soon. And now let's take a look at some icons in the world of ads. Now, I was shocked when they announced that they were making the Morton Salt Girl, because if you want to talk ad icons. You can't get more older in ad icons than the Morton Salt Girl. This is one of the most beautiful pops that I have ever seen. I was on the fence with this one for months, but when they officially announced the London Toy Fair and all the pops that were coming, I decided to add her to my bulk order because I just said, you know what, this is such a great one. But also, you can get a sweet little ad icon of Lil Sweet from Dr. Pepper. It's actually a Dr. Pepper exclusive. There's a whole way to actually do this in regards to buying Dr. Peppers and scanning barcodes, but he's officially coming to people right now, so if you want the sweet one, you can get him as well. Now let's take a look at Ultraman. Ultraman came out a couple of years back, and now they're giving us some brand new ones, and Barnes & Noble is going to be first to market if you want to get your hands on some of these. This is a Japanese live-action show classic. Many people may not even know it, especially younger generations, but he was one of the first that really gave way to the way that we take a look at television shows for kids today. Now let's take a look at some video games. We've got the video game Rage 2. I have no idea what this is, so please put your comments in the box below and let me know what these are, but I will say the details on these are incredible. And we've got a whole bunch of exclusives from Hot Topic over the past couple of months, as well as Box Lunch. And they are definitely awesome. We got everything from Batmite to a scented Icy Bear to a flocked Buckbeak, and probably the best part of this is Gizmo in the red car. But there's more from Hot Topic, everybody, in Box Lunch. We've also got a whole bunch of more exclusives that we're including a flocked Smokey the Bear, a Diamond Collection Cruella de Vil, a scented Summer Stitch. Hot Topic, when it comes to cranking out exclusives, same thing with Box Lunch, they never disappoint. Because we're also getting a whole new bunch of drag queens, so if you've been collecting the drag queens, including RuPaul, you will be able to get 3 more now, all exclusive to Hot Topic. And there's even more exclusives from Walmart and Target and Barnes & Noble, etc. We've got everything from a double pack of Hermione and Crumb to a metallic Android 16 and a black and white Muhammad Ali. I'm sure that some of you are really excited for these, so if you get them, congratulations. And now let's take a look at some new directors. This seems to be a line that a lot of people like, so now they're giving us 2 of the first female directors in this line. You can get Patty Jenkins, and you can get Ava DuVernay. And we also have some more icons. Now, these are definitely something special. You want to talk true icons, you cannot get more recognizable than this. We had already seen that Marilyn Monroe was going to be a Hollywood headquarters for Funko exclusive, but now we're getting a common, which is good, because she should be able to be gotten by everyone who is a fan. If you really want, you can get the black and white Entertainment Earth exclusive. We also get Farrah Fawcett in the famous pose on that poster that everybody knows about. A new Edgar Allan Poe, a new Bill Nye the Science Guy, and speaking of Guy, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives is my guilty pleasure. I love Guy Fieri, and the fact that he's becoming a Funko Pop makes me very excited because I am going to be adding him to my collection. My wife likes him too. She also loves Guy's grocery games, and I just love this person. He is just someone who makes me truly appreciate food, and one of these days I am going to find one of those restaurants that he showed us in Triple D, but this is one of the most beautiful pops I've ever seen. I love the shirt, I love the fact that he's holding the burger. Definitely excited to get my hands on Guy Fieri when he comes out later on this year. And now let's take a look at the new wave of Venomized pops. And once again, you know, I'm not on board with these, but apparently people love them. And you can get regulars, and you can even get exclusives, as well as a 10-inch supersized pop of Venomized Groot. But you can get Ultron Venomized, Green Goblin Venomized, Captain Marvel. These are definitely interesting, but again, not necessarily something that I'm on board with. But they're selling, so that's got to be good for something. BookTube exploded when they announced that the Netflix film To All the Boys I Loved Before became a pop line. Of course, it's based on the famous book, and now we're going to be getting 2 pops from the movie. So, BookTube I know is excited for this, and I'm glad that they're getting something. Now let's take a look at some Star Wars pops. These are going to be more of those FT design exclusives. Very, very interesting. Not interested, but interesting nonetheless. And we've even got more from The Mandalorian, a whole new wave because apparently everybody loves this show. So many versions of Mandalorians, as well as stormtroopers and other bounty hunters, as well as a whole bunch of exclusives from a lot of different retailers. We also have some live-action Mulan pops coming. I am not interested in the movie, but I know there's gotta be people that are, so if you didn't get the Disney classic animated versions, you now can get the live-action. You can get 2 of them. And probably one of the interesting things that Funko announced was the fact that they were making pops based on Rust trolls, and we're getting more of them, including 2 10-inch supersized pops of rainbow trolls. One of them is a chase. And I love the fact that they look like the original Rust troll dolls, and they've even got real hair. And speaking of trolls, we've got a brand new DreamWorks Trolls movie, Trolls World Tour. So they're finally joining the Pop family because the first movie didn't get a Pop line. But you can get some of your favorites like Princess Poppy and Branch, which also has a chase of Branch. And you can also get exclusives. And we have gotten exclusives from Michaels before, but we never got an exclusive from Party City. So the fact that Party City is now joining in the Funko Pop game is crazy. And the best part is, these stores are everywhere. I've never actually gone into one of these stores specifically looking for Pops, but I think I want to just for the sake of seeing what their selection is, just in case. And now let's talk about another anticipated film that's coming out this year, and it's not one of my most anticipated, but it's Birds of Prey, the new movie that features Harley Quinn, and they're definitely milking this one for all it's worth. You can get various versions of Harley, and Ewan McGregor's character, who is the Black Mask, as well as Black Canary and Huntress, but there's also exclusives, including this month's specialty series. It's a version of Harley Quinn in a very fancy getup. And that's not all, because Entertainment Earth is giving you the opportunity to buy these pops with exclusive collector cards. So once again, they're really milking this one for all it's worth, but I don't think this movie's going to be good at all. But I could be wrong. Let's hope that I am, because I do want the DCEU to survive. And now let's go into the next film of the MCU, and that, of course, is Black Widow. I'm more excited for the film itself than these pops, because I don't intend to get them, but I do love the looks of them, especially the way that Taskmaster is going to look in the film, and you can also get 2 exclusives at Walmart. But now let's take a look at what's been going on in London Toy Fair, because a lot of the new collections that are coming out this year have been announced. There are great extensions, there are great new collections, and some old favorites. I cannot wait to go through these, because there are some truly special ones here. We'll start off with the announcement of the next wave of Funkoverse games, and these include the Golden Girls again, as well as Jurassic Park. This apparently sold, and I'm glad that it has. I have not played the game, but I've heard good things, so the fact that we're getting a second wave is a wonderful thing. Of course, because of the fact that it's London, how could you not praise European football or soccer? And that includes a whole new bunch of players from the European League, including Chelsea, Paris, and Manchester City, and Liverpool. And there's also going to be a wave of characters from the game Cyberpunk 2077, which of course Keanu Reeves has a major role in this. He actually is a character in the game, and this is going to include a GameStop exclusive. Don't know anything about this game, so please put your comments in the box below if you play it. We've also got the new wave of Harry Potter. We've got a whole bunch of characters going back in time again. We're going into the first 3 films. You can get Harry in the invisibility cloak. You can also get the Richard Harris Dumbledore holding baby Harry, as well as some supersized pops, including Voldemort with Nagini and the Michael Gambon Dumbledore with Fox, as well as a movie moment of the Priori in Kintartum. I heard that this was coming. I thought that I was going to want to add this one to my collection because Voldemort is still not in my collection. But quite frankly, I'm not a fan of this one. I just don't think it looks great. Now, if they decide to maybe do Voldemort versus Dumbledore, or maybe Harry Potter versus Voldemort in the Deathly Hallows, maybe they'll do a little bit better with them. But I'm not so keen on the moment from Goblet of Fire, so I will not be adding that one to my collection. But I do have to say the one that I like out of all of them is Hermione doing Wingardium Leviosa with the feather. Also some new Star Wars ones, and we're going to be celebrating the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back, and we've got some true fan favorites here, including Darth Vader in his chamber, Yoda on the back of Luke Skywalker, and Han Solo frozen in carbonite. Not to mention a new pop town, which is Yoda with his little hut on Dagobah, and I love the fact that this pop is him sitting on a log. Here was something that made me so excited. The fact that we are getting only 2 X-Men pops being added to the X-Men line, but believe me, the fans have been waiting for these 2 specific characters, because if you were fans of the 1990s cartoon, or were a big fan of reading the comics in the 90s, Gambit and Rogue were definitely 2 of your favorite X-Men, and you can get the commons, or you can get a glow-in-the-dark exclusive of Entertainment Earth Gambit, which I've already pre-ordered, have to get him glow-in-the-dark, as well as a Hot Topic exclusive of Rogue Flying, which is the one that I want to add to my collection. These are 2 of my favorite X-Men. I cannot wait to have them, but I just wish that there could have been more, because I still would love to get my hands on a Nightcrawler. Now, of course, you can't have that without more DC, and we've got some really interesting celebrations from Batman. I mean, I thought that we were done, but we're not. But I like the fact that we are going to be celebrating Batman in so many different ways. You can get a new Batman the Animated Series Harley Quinn in a nightgown. You can also get a 10-inch Heath Ledger Joker, as well as a comic moment that is coming, which is the Red Hood versus Deathstroke. But oh man, what they gave us next was special. We got all of the versions of Batman from all the movies that Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher made, but we never got the villains. Well, in 2020, it is villains galore. You can get 2 versions of Jack Nicholson's Joker. One of them is a Chase. You can get the Danny DeVito Penguin and the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman from Batman Returns, the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face and the Jim Carrey Riddler from Batman Forever, and the Uma Thurman Poison Ivy and Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin. I am surprised that they didn't make Bane, but I have a strange feeling he's going to be a con exclusive. I promise you, I have a feeling it's coming. And now let's take a look at some other interesting movies. Apparently, Slim, the killer clown from outer space, who was an exclusive at New York Comic Con last fall, really was a hit. So they're making more. And we're also getting some very long-awaited favorites, including all 4 girls from The Craft, as well as Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. And that includes a Hot Topic exclusive and a Chase, but if you're not into horror, you can get Hobbs and Shaw. Disney. Oh boy, did they give us some great Disney stuff. One of my all-time favorite Disney animated villains is becoming a pop, and that is Ratigan. I've been saying for years nothing would make me happier than to have a little Vincent Price in some shape or form in my collection, and now they're giving us the Great Mouse Detective. You can get him or you can get Basil or Olivia, but I'm really surprised that Dawson is not in this, or Toby. We can also get the Gummy Bears, the Disney animated show that would soon join the Disney Afternoon along with DuckTales and TaleSpin. So the fact that we're getting another one of these shows is wonderful. But once again, surprised that it's not all of them. Where's Grammy? But we also have Pixar. You can get the new pops from the film Onward, starring Chris Pratt and Tom Holland, and this also includes a Chase, and both of these will be available at Hot Topic. Those are exclusives, as well as an Amazon exclusive. And of course, the cult favorite Jim Henson Company show, Dinosaurs. You can get the entire Sinclair family, except for Ethel, the Francine's mother, and I'm surprised that they didn't even give us Roy either. I mean, I only watched the first season of this show. I did not watch the rest of it, but these look beautiful. Some people actually thought that Dinosaurs and Gummy Bears were not going to be the ones that people were interested in, but believe me, that is wrong. So many people are excited for Dinosaurs, and I know a lot of people who are really excited for Gummy Bears. Will I add any of these to my collection? No, I would like to see them up close, though, because I do love the Gummy Bears cubby. We've also got some other World of Animation pops. We've got the new SpongeBob movie pops, and we also have Aardman Animation, we've got Wallace and Gromit as well as Shaun the Sheep, and these are very accurate. These look exactly like the claymation characters. Very, very good. We've also got a new wave of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Now, I loved He-Man when I was a kid, but I never really got into it afterwards. But part of me is still saying, do you want Battle Cat with He-Man on him or not? Because that's a great pop ride. I mean, to have that one in my hands would remind me of the time when I was a little kid and I had He-Man and Battle Cat, and I always had He-Man riding Battle Cat. That is just awesome. But we've also got a 10-inch Skeletor as well as a Hot Topic exclusive of a web store. But what I'm really excited about is the fact that we're going to get Prince Adam and the Sorceress. So I'm still on the fence with He-Man and Battle Cat, but I love the fact that this is happening, and I like that this series that they said was not going to continue is happening because the fans want it. And of course, another big fandom is something more recent, The Legend of Korra, which is a spin-off of Avatar: The Last Airbender. The details on these pops look gorgeous, especially the Hot Topic glow-in-the-dark chase. But I haven't watched these shows. I would probably watch them somewhere down the line, but I'm glad that these are happening because there's such a fan base for them. And now we've got a whole bunch of other television shows, including Creepshow, Star Trek Discovery, and wow, you want to talk real cult classics or throwbacks? We've got the original Fantasy Island and Angela Lansbury from Murder, She Wrote. I never watched Murder, She Wrote, but I had to tweet out the fact that this was becoming a pop because that is just fandom at its finest, people. Fandom at its finest. And my goodness, they killed it with music this year. So much diverse music styles, from country to hip-hop to R&B, heavy metal, classic rock, and Motown. I mean, my goodness, James Brown, Salt and Pepper, Rivers Cuomo from Weezer, a new version of Lemmy with the Motorhead mascot, ZZ Top. The one that I'm adding to my collection, no doubt, is Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. That is beautiful. I love the way he looks. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rolling Stones are coming somewhere down the line, but there's more. There's also Shania Twain, Slipknot, and Eazy-E from NWA. So fantastic. Bravo, Funko. Pop Rocks is definitely here to stay. But there was even more that was announced after the London Toy Fair, so there's still a little bit more to go, guys. We've got a new anime series called Boruto. I have no idea what this is. It looks like it's a spin-off of Naruto, but I never watched the original Naruto, and this is definitely not something that I'm interested in, but you can get AAA exclusives as well as a Hot Topic glow-in-the-dark exclusive. Also announcements that came last year was the fact that Funko was announcing their Pop Around the World series, which is a little animal dressed in the garb of the country. So we got the first one that was exclusive to the Funko shop, which is Barkingham, and it's obviously a English bulldog in a British soldier's costume, and I believe they all come with exclusive pins. I'm not necessarily interested in any of these, although if they make a panda bear in China, I'm pretty sure that my wife is going to want to at least look at it, but I don't think we're going to get any of these. We also got a new bunch of pops from the world of golf. Tiger Woods was announced earlier this year, but now they're adding 2 additional golf legends, Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer. I'm pretty sure that if they sell, more will be made. We also have a GameStop exclusive of Tom from Toonami. Now, you may not know who this character is, but I sure remember him. I love the fact that they made him. This is definitely a cult favorite because if it wasn't for Toonami, I wouldn't have watched half of the anime shows that I watch now, and this is just awesome to have the mascot of Toonami. Will I get him? Probably not, but I just love the fact that he's here. And to cap it off, everybody, there was one other big announcement. Now, I featured this very interesting-looking pop a couple of weeks back, and that, of course, was the Avengers Assemble Amazon-exclusive Iron Man. Now, I really didn't know how to talk about it just because of the fact that it was the first of something, but I had a feeling I knew what it was because now they've officially announced the second part of this big set. Basically, it is all the Avengers from the first Avengers film in 2012, and they each come with their own base, and you put them all together in a circle in that iconic moment where all 6 of them are standing in a circle waiting to take on the villains that are attacking New York. I am very much on the fence with these because apparently one comes out every other month, which is good. I think that's good for people's budgets because these are $20 a pop, no pun intended. But they do look great. I do like the Iron Man and I do like the Hulk. And now that I'm actually seeing 2 of them together and seeing a little bit better as to what it's going to become, part of me really does want to get my hands on these. I'm still on the fence, but I don't know what I'm going to do just yet, but we will have to see when the time comes around. But I do love the fact that they're doing something like this, because Funko just never ceases to impress me. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below. You know how excited I am to always talk Funko Pops with you, and I'm expecting another big video in March, especially because of the fact that New York Toy Fair will be revealing their stuff at the end of February. But until then, I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.